Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Oh, I apologize for the stream going down. I do apologize. It's a big sigh. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. A shout out to Sort of for raiding us earlier. From then, we have since lost most of the raid. Feels bad, man. And for those that are wondering, for those that are curious, there's something that's been wrong with our internet for a while now. The internet was dropping like on a daily basis last week or 2 weeks ago. Just every single day, the internet was dropping randomly throughout the day. And I called up our ISP, and they sent a technician over on Monday after EWC. After EWC concluded, I had to stay up a little bit longer. A technician came, took a look at what was going on, why that was happening, what was going on, and apparently there was a faulty line. There was like a faulty line. There was like some issues that had happened earlier in the year where like there was I think there was like an accident like in the area and had like impacted and affected some of the connections that were around, and they replaced like the line, they fixed it, and yesterday we streamed like most of the day, and the internet it held on. Like the internet did not drop yesterday. I was like, oh, it's beautiful, it's crazy. For the first time in forever, like we're able to stream and the internet doesn't drop. And then the internet just dropped today. So maybe the issues haven't been resolved. I mean, it's possible that maybe this was a one-off. You know, maybe copium, maybe it's a one-off, and maybe the internet just happened to go down, and we're still fine. I'll keep an eye on it. Definitely, I'll keep an eye on it throughout the week. And log if the internet ever does drop again, and if it does, then technician's gonna have to come back, and we'll see what happens. Smurge, papi, smurge. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan. Otherwise, again, I do apologize for the stream going down. We were in the middle of our series. We were in game number 2. I don't know when the stream cut off, unfortunately, so I think I was casting for like an extra minute or so before I noticed that the stream had gone down. So we're going to be jumping back in. I did kind of rewind a little bit here, and we'll be jumping back into game 2 of Master versus Inexorable. As a reminder, for some context of what was going on, if you remember, Inexorable did go for a greedy 3cc 3 racks build. Likewise, Master went for 3-gate blink. Master was punishing Inexorable, was getting a lot of damage done, was trading well, was able to shut down and catch Marines, able to shut down and catch the bunker. Boys were being pulled, and Inexorable was kind of trying to scramble together a defense. Stim was kicking in, and now we can jump back in. Whew. Let's go. Okay, we did initially deflect the push. Meanwhile, Master does reinforce. He goes for another big warp in, and Master's still trying to keep the pressure on, still trying to punish Inexorable. The bunker was replaced, was rebuilt. But it's not going to stop Master as he does commit once again. Stim is now done. We can push on forward. We force back the Stalkers lead for a moment. Stalkers are going down. You can see the difference here. Once Stim is done, we can try to fight back, but we lost so many Marines throughout the course of this defense. And Inexorable, he has to back up. Does back up. More boys being pulled again. We have to work with the defense, with a bunker, with a ramp. Ooh, another Marauder gets sniped. Good pick up here by Master. Another Marauder goes down as well. Expensive losses for Inexorable. Concussive Shell is just finishing +1 as well. As Master goes for the drop into the main. Stalkers in low ground, drop into the main base. And we will disrupt some of the production. We get eyes on the CC. Okay, we get the Prism. Up! We can! Prism goes down. Yeah, the War Prism will fall. Just barely. With that Inexorable, he should be able to shut this down. He should be able to defend. No more reinforcements. And Inexorable will hold. But as the dust does settle, how much did we lose? Oh my god, we're not done. We're not done. Another Marauder. Good pickup. Another Marauder goes down. But last, it's been 6 Marauders, 24 Marines, 10 SCVs for 8 Stalkers. We scan across the map. We confirm that there is indeed a third base up and running. And the Master so far has done a great job here at punishing the greed of Inexorable and catching up behind it. Getting to his third base, getting a secure economy, and more importantly, delaying the third base of Inexorable for as long as we can. Inexorable may have gotten a third base earlier, but it's not landed. It's not on location. We don't have the worker count. We don't have the economy. Not yet. So he is being contained. Master backing up. Now, Master has to be very careful just because Stim is now done, so we can threaten the army of Master that much more. So you have to be careful. You have to tread lightly. Turret is on the way. I imagine for the War Prism. Inexorable a little bit paranoid. I mean, he did already kill the War Prism, but concerned about another drop. Likewise does move out, but Master does spot this. Spots to drop towards the north, spots to move out in the center of the map. Master, he does rotate, and Inexorable doesn't commit, thankfully. Again, because Inexorable got spotted, but because both of his armies got spotted, it is wiser to just pull back to respect his opponent and to establish a third. Master does confirm the army came back home, which means he can once again start to move out. Oh my, that's a lot of zealots. As charge is now done, we're going to be embracing a more gateway heavy composition. We have Colossus on the way, working towards a splash damage, and Inexorable is moving out across the map. That's quite an army. We have our upgrades. We have 1-1. 1-1 is done. We scan the third base. We get eyes on the Colossus. That is going to be quite intimidating. Inexorable doesn't commit. Colossus is up and running. You have the Ghost Academy on the way. It looks like Inexorable is going to back off, going to settle into his third base, and going to take up, macro up, and work towards a bit of a later game. You can see here as well, if Inexorable does move out, we have a Zealot run by poised to hit the third. Here we go. From here, Master will back off, will retreat. Zealot run by this initial Zealot will just get eyes on the main army, confirm that it's in position. I say that we actually commit. Yeah, Zealots are revealed. Now Inexorable is aware of the Zealot run by. But throughout all this, we've been building up more Colossus. We now have 2. Colossus are in the mix. 4th base on the way. Master going to be reinforcing, going for extra sentries. At the same time, Inexorable coming in from behind. Let's go. Yeah, we do flank the army. Likewise, Zealots come in from the north as well. We don't quite go for the Prism. Nice juggling here with the Colossus. Oh my god. The juggling is good, but what about the Gateway army? The Stalkers are going down. The Zealots as well, but getting some of the Colossus, and we will shut it down. At the same time, oh my god, a massive Zealot counterattack. 20 SCVs. I was curious where all the Zealots were. If Zealots at the third, they cleaned up. Zealots at the natural, they get 20 worker kills. Master does cripple the economy. And Inexorable can't move out. He has to deal with this. And the question becomes, can Inexorable punish Master? Back at home, we have another big warp in. Most of the Zealots were saved. There's still 1 Colossus up and running. 2nd Colossus halfway done. And Inexorable is moving out. And again, he needs to punish this in some way. Master's getting a 5th. He's in the midst of getting a 5th base. And can we knock down the 3rd or the 4th? Scan reveals the main army. Inexorable moving out. Does have EMPs. Oh, the first EMP does miss. Not ideal. 2 EMPs left. We do hit the 3rd base. And it looks like we will barely get the 3rd. The 3rd does go down. Nice pickoff. So far, so good. Inexorable kiting back. Trading with the Zealots. Oh, the ghosts are exposed. We get an EMP, but 1 ghost goes down. Just the 1. Okay. Inexorable, he holds his own. I mean, those upgrades. 2-2 is done. 3-3 is on the way, and we have 0-0 for Master. The upgrades are kicking in. And it means that the Gateway army is that much more fragile. It melts. The upgrades are carrying. There's going to be a window. There's going to be a window where the Terran has 3-3 and the Protoss has 0-0, which is crazy. Crazy to think of. As 1-1 did just begin. I mean, with the help of Chrono, we can maybe try to catch up and get 1-1 in time for that timing, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close. As Inexorable is going for a split push. Again, he was able to knock down the 3rd base. He's keeping Master busy. We have another move out here towards the south. I believe we have not scouted the 5th base yet, but we're at least going for the 4th. Distracting the Colossus. Colossus are distracted. Prism tries to go in, and the turrets do deny it. And we knock down the third base once again. We force a cancel. Zelts are being cleaned up. We do have Widowmines back at home. So far, nice defense. Inexorable, he doesn't lose any SCVs back at home. Not this time. As again, the EMPs. Ooh, they connect with the Colossus. Massive EMPs. Zelts, they crumble. Once again, we deny the base. We don't allow Master to expand. Oh, he's trying, though. It's crazy. Going for the third base once again. Immediately. I mean, the Colossus doing well for themselves. Like, the Colossus, they're carrying this army. 1-1 is now done. 3-3. About to kick in for Inexorable. And checking his vision. Yeah, he hasn't seen the fifth base, but he's headed there. He's headed for the fifth. Up. It does him in. He goes for the Colossus. Ah, doesn't quite get it. We had a decent EMP. And we break through the Immortal. But we're barely not getting on the Colossus. Oh, never mind. We are. Just barely. We get one. We get one, and we don't quite get the second overcharge. It is popped. Barely keeps it alive. But we zone the army away, and now we have eyes on the fifth. It's still quite close. The supplies are still neck and neck. Inexorable getting his own fourth base. Planetary is done. Still rallying across the map. Disruptor's now in the mix. Okay, with a good Nova, we can hold. The Prism up. Oh, barely escapes. Does get away. Was clutch. Likewise, the army rotates. We have plenty of shield batteries. Decently EMP on the Zealots. With the help of 3 Colossus now, we can hold our own. Even without upgrades, Nova goes off, takes down the Marauders. But the Stalkers are falling. Oh my god. Again, the Stalkers, they crumble before the bio. We shut them down time and time again. We need more Zealots. We need more of a buffer here. Expensive losses for Master. Sure, he retains the Colossus, but the Disruptor went down. The Stalkers as well. Oh my god, ambitious blink. As Master is punished. And the scary thing here is that Inexorable, he's replacing this army, and Master is taking him quite some time to replace his. Morphing in another wave of Zealots. Stimming in, we get a Colossus for free. Very nice pickoff. Colossus goes down, we get 1, we get 2. And now there's 1 Colossus left. For so long, the Colossus have been holding on against this army, but now we only have 2 left. And barely anything to protect them. GG, well played, and Inexorable ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're getting into the ace match here. Again, Master, or I should say Inexorable, was able to snowball out of control eventually with his economy, with his third base, with his upgrades. We had some good moments for the Protoss player, if you remember, where he was able to cripple the economy and get 20 plus SCV kills with that massive Zealot counterattack. That is true, but unfortunately he did end up falling behind in those upgrades, and the quality of his army wasn't quite able to keep up and catch up. If he was able to get into additional disruptors or into Storm, if he was able to get into these units that don't rely on your gateway army, if they don't rely on your upgrades, then we can make up for that. But as we saw, we were heavily reliant on Zealots, heavily reliant on Stalkers, and that's where upgrades do impact the Protoss army the most, is relying on those units. And that is where Inexorable was able to thrive. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. So we are going to be jumping in. And again, I apologize for the stream going down earlier. Shout out to those that did stick around. Shout out. Thank you. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Thank you. As we do continue the event and continue the semifinals, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Inexorable. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is Master. We go. And I'll be honest, I'm shocked that we're loading into Ghost River as the ace match. How did this map make it through the vetoes, Pappy? Like what happened? What went on in the vetoes? So I'm a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised, and I'm ready to embrace a Ghost River. A very small map, smallest map in the map pool, very short rush distance as well. I believe rush distance is 1 second longer than post youth, but short nonetheless. And we do see a Master, as he has done every game so far, is checking for proxies. Did so in game 1, did so in game 2, and now doing so here in game 3 as well. Does confirm. Let's move out across the map. Does fewer bases equal shorter game? Not necessarily. It's one of those things where, because the rush distance by ground is so short, all-ins can be a little bit more favored. You can be hyper-aggressive in the face of your opponent. We've seen a lot of all-ins on Ghost River. At the same time, though, if the players don't decide to be overly aggressive, then you can actually see some split map scenarios. We have seen time and time again, this map specifically, because of its layout, is prone to cutting the map in half right down the middle and slowing the game down, but that is usually the case in other matchups, specifically like Zerg versus Protoss or Zerg versus Terran. Terran versus Protoss, we have seen that a little bit less, but that might just be because I've seen less TVPs on this map, period. We shall see. But the reason why you can cut the map in half is because of this choke point. I say this choke point. There's a choke point here in between the natural and the third. Likewise, there are these ramps here outside of the third base as well. Because there are so many ramps, because there are so many choke points, you can take a very strong defensive stance and kind of slow the game down in that way. Meanwhile, Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener here out of Master is once again going for Blink. We've seen the Twilight Council every game so far. And back at home, we do have a more economic opener here by Inexorable CC getting up and running, going for the factory into Cyclone behind this, into, I imagine, a 1-1-1. We have yet to see a Rax before Starport from Inexorable, and this would not be a bad map for it, but there it is. Starport is on the way. So just a standard 1-1-1 here from Inexorable. This tells us that the chances of this being a 2-base all-in is a little bit lower. It's less likely. It's going to be less likely for Inexorable. This Reaper is shut down. But yeah, when it comes to like the length of like the average game on a map, it does come down to the distinct features of the map itself. There are some smaller maps that aren't as defensive. I think famously, if you remember a couple of seasons ago on, not Post Youth, I keep forgetting the name of the map. Neo Humanity, that's it. Neo Humanity. We had some of the longest games on Neo Humanity, despite how short the rush distance was. It's actually quite similar to Ghost River in a sense, where Neo Humanity also had a very short rush distance by ground, which meant there were a lot of all-ins, but if you didn't all-in, then we enter a long game. Like, we enter like the giga late game on Neo Humanity. So, in a way, it's a map of extremes. Or at least Neo Humanity was a map of extremes. This one, at times, it can be. As Inexorable is going for his drop across the map. Moving through the south side. Likewise, Master getting in position to expand and take his third base. Quickly checking the build of choice. 2 gateways in low ground, 1 gateway in the main. So once again, 3-gate Blink. Master has gone for the same build every single game so far. Just a bit of a safer, kind of middle-of-the-road build here. 3-gate Blink allows the Stalkers to be active. Meanwhile, the drop is moving out. So far, just vanilla Marines. Have our Marines moving out towards that main. Third base is being taken. And we do boost into the main base, and there's not much at home to defend. Oh, so far so good. With the 9 mining time, we get a worker. Stalkers do warp back at home. Going for the medevac. Medevac does survive. We pick up one of the Stalkers, going for more probe kills. We get a second probe, but we were hoping for more damage. Hoping for more workers. Ooh, as the Medevac does fall. And we will clean this up. Not without losing 5 probes, though. Not bad. And a second Stalker. Okay. 5 probes, 2 Stalkers for a Medevac full of Marines. Not bad. And back at home, we're still building up. Third CC now on the way. So again, it's not a 2-base all-in from Inexorable. Building up towards the third base. And interesting, Master, as we scan, we confirm the third. Master this time opted not to go for the War Prism. So, does have some Stalkers across the map, but this time is not reinforcing. Master instead goes for a much faster Bay. Bay into Extend Double Lands into Colossus. So this time we're taking up into splash damage into Robotech a little bit faster compared to the previous game. Rushing into Colossus. And this time the Stalkers, they're being used more so to contain the Terran player than to really get any damage done. We're just here to keep the Terran in check and to keep up with any drop play. Speaking of, drops are moving out. Double drop towards the south. Master keeps 1 Stalker in position, the rest do move out. We have units fanned out across the map. We have scatter pylons, adepts, Stalkers, all designed to catch the drop play of his opponent. So far, Master hasn't seen it yet, but again, he's still fanning out his Stalkers. Looking for the drops. The main army does move out, was spotted by that Stalker. Inexorable getting in position. Colossus are ready. Scan misses the Colossus. Uh-oh. Inexorable doesn't know. Now he does. Does him in. Does force a siege. A lot of Marines going to be going down. The mine shots. Ooh, we get 1. 1 mine goes off, but most of the Marines did go down. And then Inexorable just doesn't have much pushing power. Does expand behind this. Takes his third base. But we spoke about it. These Rams can be brutal to push into. And we're going to be able to hold on. Rocks are being knocked down. Again, just to gain a little bit greater access to this ramp. Like, if tanks siege up behind these rocks, it is so difficult for the Zealots to get on top of the tanks. But the rocks have been knocked down. Oh! Almost overextend. Regardless, we have the high ground. We do dive on forward. We're getting on top of the tanks, and the tanks are falling. We get both tanks. We get every single Widow Mine. Master does shut this down. Does keep pushing even as well. I mean, he's got 3 Colossus. Does have a lot of power behind this. Inexorable, going to be retreating. Behind this, second Starport is on the way. Getting to Mass Liberator. Interesting. Handful of libs on the way. And as Master defends, we have another base. We have a 4th on the way. His economy is still looking strong. Second Robo, Forge for upgrades, double road production into Disruptors. Master's looking solid, and Inexorable's in some trouble here. Without tanks, without any siege units. Can we hold on? Can we defend? Bunker is still on the way. And we're forcing our way in. Inexorable may have just lost too much. We have the libs, though. The freedom is here. Freedom has arrived, but we do need to push a little bit further forward. First lib is going to go down. Oh, the force! Oh my god! The force fields! The force fields are brutal. A lot of bio does fall. Yeah, we deny the third base. And the third has been broken. And Inexorable is being punished for his move out. Punished for his push. He lost a little bit too much, and now the SCVs are falling left and right. We get 8 SCV kills. We deny the third base. And Master, he's got his War Prism. He can reinforce on the front lines. There's not much slowing him down. I mean, the Liberators are a nice touch. They can try to slow this down, but oh, with enough Stalkers, we can focus them. We can target them. Getting more SCVs. And honestly, we don't even have to push in. Like, we're expanding. We have a 4th. Master has double the base count of his opponents. And all we have to do is contain. Oh! Get 1 more lib. The punish is real. Nice force fields. Yeah, using the choke point against the Terran. Punishing the dive. And again, there's no reason for Master to overstay his welcome. He does retreat, does back off. And is getting ready for a 5th. Oh my god. It's a little bit unnecessary. We don't need a 5th base, but at this point, why not? Why not? It's greedy, that is true. As Liberation has arrived, we lock down the ramp. But here on the left-hand side, it's a little bit harder to lock down. Yeah, we can focus on Libs. We're a little bit a late response. Oh, another Liberator is exposed. And we're just picking Inexorable apart. We are making 4 Liberators at a time, which is crazy. But speaking of the main base, we do warp in right into the main. One Colossus goes down. Master does overextend for a moment there. But the Zealots are wreaking havoc, and Inexorable is being pulled apart left and right. Cannot keep up. Not like this. Not in this kind of game state, as we get 19 SCVs and we are still wreaking havoc. We have more Liberators, but oh god, against all these Zealots, they can barely keep up. And we go for the dive. We have plenty to work with. GG gets called, and Master will shut down the main army, pull Inexorable apart, and take the series at 2-0. GG. Oof. Oh my god. GG, well played. You can see how much this map can punish you. Winding it back a little bit, what had occurred is Inexorable had moved out across the map with his tank-based army. He got completely cleaned up, and in a matter of seconds, again, because of how small this map is, Master counterattacked. He counterattacked real quick, and Inexorable just didn't have the time to recover, didn't have the time to set himself up. If he was given, you know, 30 more seconds, 20 to 30 more seconds, we would have had the Liberators a little bit faster, would have been able to hold on to the ramps, both locations, and then we might have a different kind of game state here. If you remember, the bunker was barely not done as well. We had a bunker on the way at the 3rd base, which barely didn't finish in time. And again, Master able to just snowball out of control with that counterattack. And Master advances on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Master does advance on. Inexorable is going to be eliminated from the tournament. My condolences to Inexorable. Again, did well for himself to make it here to the ace match. But yeah, it was an interesting map choice here for Ghost River. Interesting vetoes that did take place to land on Ghost River as well. I'm a little bit surprised that Inexorable didn't try to go for a 2-base all-in. That's a little bit more commonplace, especially from the side of Terran in this matchup. Went for a different kind of, a more macro-oriented game instead, and yeah, was punished for his own aggression. But with that, we wrap up the semis and we're getting ready for the grand finals. We haven't been able to cast him yet today, but here he is, the man of the hour. We are going to be jumping into Eric versus Master. I thought it said 1-1. It was 1-1 in game. That this was the ace match. We just casted the ace match. Oh. So with that, Master will take the series 2-1. Now we're getting into the grand finals. So yes, you're correct. It did say 1-1. It was 1-1 in game. That was the ace match. Now we're getting into our grand finals. Here we go. It is going to be a ZVP between Eric and Master. Again, Eric likewise was also making his way through the upper half of the brackets, also making his way through his own opponents. Looks like we weren't able to get any replays of Eric's run, but we're at least here in the finals. It is going to be a best of 5 between our Zerg and our Protoss, and we are jumping into Game 1. Game 1 on Oceanborn. Let's go. And yeah, I do miss Zerg. This is the first time we're casting Zerg today. It's been a couple of hours. It's been what, 3 hours? 2 hours here covering the events. It's been purely Terran and Protoss, but finally we get a Zerg. We get a Zerg player spawning in the top left hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our Brazilian Zerg player, the red Zerg, representing the CranKy Ducklings, as he is one of our own. It is Eric. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is Master. See, I'm reading to the chat. There is a Wikipedia page for this, but be careful because there are spoilers. This event did transpire last week. It occurred during ESL Americas. Oh my god, Eric is proxying. It occurred during ESL Americas. We were busy casting ESL Americas, and we were also busy with EWC, so this is a replay cast. So if you do have a look at the Wikipedia page, be careful of the spoilers as we are jumping on in. And Eric, as always, spicing thing, is going for a bit of a spicy build. Let's go. With a proxy hatch across the map, it's going to be a hatch pool opener, and the goal here is for Eric to lay siege upon the wall. Lay siege upon Master. So far, Master's in the dark. Master going for the probe scout, does attempt to delay the expansion, and Eric, he's selling a story right now. He's like, oh no, you're blocking my base. You're stuck. Oh no, what will I do? I'm stuck, Stepper. He's not stuck. He's like, he's not stuck, Papi. He's lying to you. He's across the map. He's across the map here with his proxy pool about to finish, and Master has yet to piece it all together, is still looking for the expansion. Is still looking for the base. There we go. Probe moves that. He's played against Eric before. He knows that something is wrong. Something is up, and we do get eyes on the hatchery. There we go. Master is aware. We respond with a forge. So far, good response. Again, the big downside for Protoss in this kind of game state is the lack of production. You only have one gateway, so you have minimal units. How do you defend? Cannons. With, not with units, with cannons, with shield batteries, and of course, eventually with stalkers and immortals and a robot production. We're building towards that. But last to make up for that with Sag defense, Lings have arrived. Zealot does confirm the spine crawlers on the way, as Eric does nibble away at that cyber core. To nibble away. Forge is done. Cannons are in production. As 3 cannons, 1 shield battery. The Queen has arrived. And we do work through that energy on the shield battery. Remember, there's no overcharge. There is no expansion. The surround! No! The Zealot does overextend. We get a full surround. Zealot goes down. There's only 1 Stalker left. The cannons are not yet done. And the spine coolers are within range. And the Stalker is going to fall. Stalker goes down. Now we have cannons. And we're able to get quite an amount of damage done on one of those cannons already. Yeah, 1 cannon goes down. 2 cannons left. Ooh, the spine crawler is within range. We're going to have to uproot. You see the Queen trying to tank some shots, but unsuccessful. Yeah, the spine crawler does retreat. Going for the gateway. The Silent going for a bit of everything. Yeah, the gateway, the cyber core. Adept has arrived. Stalker's on the way. Main base is empty. There is no robo. Just relying on gateway units here. And it looks like this Stalker's going to be denied. And this is the only gateway. Oh. The only gateway. Meanwhile, Lings looks like they did surround the Adept. Adept goes down. Cybercore under fire. And Warp Gate is going to be denied. We deny Warp Gates. Oh my god. No reinforcements. Only Sag defense. And Eric, he's breaking through. Oh my god, we're expanding. You can see Eric repositioning, getting within range of the shield batteries. I mean, the cannons are holding their own. Eric is expanding, making more Lings. They're burning through that energy. We have another transfuse. The Lings are amassing. Again, once the wall is broken, Lings, they can just bypass the wall. Speaking of, the wall's on the wall! Lings, they flood in! They flood into the main base. They avoid the wall off. And they're going straight for the probe, straight for the mineral line. Oh my god, so many workers going down. The main base is going to fall. And now we're stuck at the natural. 0 income, 0 mining for Master. Again, that's all we needed. All we needed was 1 small hole in the wall. And the main base is going to crumble. Now, thankfully, Master does have a backup expansion on the way. And behind this, Eric is droning. Macro build. Eric is droning up. More spine crawlers on the way. We're spreading creep. Honestly, if we wanted to, Eric, he could even try to mine through the 3rd base if he so chose. Meanwhile, Stargate. Okay. There's a world. There's a chance. We have seen Protoss players in worse positions fight back with Void Rays. Unironically, we have seen, I want to say, was it Starduck versus Ender? In a similar game state where Starduck, he went down to 4 probes. He went down to 4 probes. He had 2 Void Rays in a dream, and he killed Eric. Sorry, he killed Ender. Did kill him. Meanwhile, it's going to be an Oracle opener. Not the Void Ray. There's 1 Queen back at home to defend. Things are spread out. Spine Crawler's getting ready for a dive. Oh my god. This I'm not so sure if the queens are going to go down. And we lose both queens. Spine Crawlers are going to try to burrow in. There's going to be an overcharge available. That's the scary thing. Not yet though. There we go. We have the overcharge. We're going to focus out one of the cannons. There's 2 cannons left. Overcharge is popped. We will focus it down. We focus down the shield battery. And the Spine Crawlers, they're breaking through. 2 cannons, soon to be 1. Oh no. Oh, we're out of range. There's 1 cannon left in the Spine Crawlers. They want it, Bobby. They want the cannon. And they're going to get it. They do barely burrow. They focus the cannon down. They're going to deny the rest of the cannons as well. And back at home, Eric is droning. He's droning up, taking gases, getting a 3rd base. There's a cannon on the right-hand side, which looks like it will finish. And we'll be able to force back one of the spines. As we're still getting damage. And from here, Eric, he can go into Roach production, into Hydras. The Oracle's been stuck at home. There we go, now it's moving out. Spines are repositioning. We get the Forge. Oh my god, and that's the pylon powering the Stargate. There we go, now we have the Void Ray. And GG gets called. We scout across the map, we see the saturation, the spores, the queens, and Eric takes the lead. Let's go. Let's go, Poppy, let's go. Eric does take a lead here, doing Eric things. Again, I haven't casted Eric in a very long time. It's been like a month. It's been like a month since I've casted Eric. I know Eric has been indulging in some of the other RTSs, but it's great to see him back. Great to see him once again, still doing Eric things. As always, a very, very creative player, is what I will say. Very creative. Very aggressive, very cheesy at times. But we'll see what else we have in store for us. Now, we have already gone for the initial proxy, for the proxy hatch across the map. I can't imagine we're going to do that again, though. Like Eric, he's got a multitude of builds up his sleeve. What do you have for us next? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is Master. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the blue Zerg, representing the CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own. What does he stand for? He stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. The F in Eric stands for fear. It is Eric. Let's go. Oh my god. Going for what looks to be a 15-15. Oh, never mind. Did go for a bit of an extractor trick. And is going gas first. Interesting. Okay, no proxy. No proxy this time. It's going to be a gas interpool into a delayed hatchery. The drone. We're going for the gold. Okay, this is something you can do on this map on Alcyone. We mine through the minerals and we are making our way towards the gold base. Which one? Do we go for our gold base or Mash's gold? Okay. But the gold base is on the horizon. Again, we have seen this kind of variation, or at least many a Zerg player rush into this gold. We've seen Laser do it, Raynor, Dark, Shin, even Solar. It's something that all Zerg players have done at least once, at least the pro Zergs, the top Zergs, on Alcyone. And Eric is bringing it back. But Master is checking, he's scouting, he's looking for the proxy. And will confirm. So Master will confirm. How does he respond? Now, fun fact, when it comes to the Korean Protosses, Classic and Hero, whenever Dark does this, for example, or Shin, or some of the other Korean Zergs, their response is they delay their expansion and they go for a Forge. They go for a Forge, and if they scout it this early on, like the way that Master did, then you can cannon rush. You can throw it in a pylon, you can throw it in cannons, and deny the expansion, and then expand behind it. But as we can see, we have instead gone for the Nexus first, no Forge. It looks like Master will try to deal with this in a different way. We'll have a bit of a different approach. So we'll see how Master does attempt to punish the gold. Meanwhile, we do see Eric back at home, still just happily droning up. Link speed was prioritized. Remember, it was gas first, so really fast link speed out of Eric, but we are not mining extra gas. What does that mean? That means no bailings. No bailing nest behind this, no roach war, no fast lair. We do maynard the workers over, drones being sent towards the gold, but it's only fast link speed. Nothing else yet. As we do have 2 links slipping in, the wall is wide open. Getting a full scout, it's going to be a Stargate opener out of Master. Eric trying to piece it together. Gold base getting saturated, link speed kicking in, and we are massing links. That's a lot of links on the way. That is going to be a lot of links. And from here, does Eric just link flood? That would make sense. I mean, we have a lot of minerals to work with. Going to have a lot of resources here for Eric. And we've not pulled into gas. And we've still not pulled into gas. Links are moving out. Eric, ooh, getting supply blocks. Uh-oh, not the time. Now is not the time for a supply block. Both sides, both golds. Quad gold. Ah. We have seen Maru. I have seen Maru take both gold bases. Have seen that. Was it in, am I misremembering? Was it Maru versus Scarlet in GSL? Is that when he took both golds? When he was 8-raxing? This would have been last year, I think. Here we go. Master does move out. Oracle has arrived. Spore is not done, but we do have 2 queens. That's a 2 queens. We will zone away that Oracle. Spore is now on the way. Spore done in the main. And we've pulled back into gas. We did make an abundance of links, but it looks like these were safety links to deal with Adept Harass. So we went into safety links. Gases are now being taken, and we can see this is leading into a Roach War. Okay. I imagine this is going to be for a Roach all-in to knock down the 3rd base, but we'll see. As the leagues will confirm the 3rd base being taken. Eric is aware. Eric is aware of the 3rd. Likewise, Lair being taken. We have the Evo Chamber for +1. Interesting. Is Eric going for a longer game? Like, because it's Eric, like, I have to assume it's for an all-in, but the Evo Chamber tells us that we want to work towards upgrades, and that means a later push. Or is it a fake Evo Chamber? Did he just make the Evo Chamber just to have it? And we're just not going to use it? It's possible. Roaches are on the way. Lings, they get 3 probe kills at the 3rd. Yeah, okay, we're droning. We're droning up. Okay, so it looks like we are macroing. We're getting into the mid game. There we go. +1 range is on the way. We're going to get into roach speed. Eric, he's not going for the all-in. He's moving out with some roaches, but he has no intention of committing. Interesting. So he's kind of like, he's puffing up his chest. He's faking a push. He's faking aggression. Hoping to force an overreaction. He pokes in, backs the hell off. Eric does retreat. Meanwhile, Oracles, they hit the natural. Getting 2 drones. Nothing too major. Queens are keeping up. And you can see Eric backing off and still droning up. Hydra Den on the way. Eric, he's macroing. He's crazy. He's macroing up. Okay. Okay, Eric, I see you. So it looks like even though we have rushed into the goal base, even though we had fast link speed, we are headed and working towards a longer game, taking more expansions. Fourth base being taken with Master. Master taking it slow. So far, Master's doing quite well. Even though he's been up against a really aggressive Eric, he's been able to, keep a cool, calm, and collected head. Able to embrace these upgrades, get into his own blink and +1. Into a gateway-based army. Robo's on the way for splash damage, and here we go. Master's goal is to knock down that gold. How many gateways? 7. Oh, more than that. Getting up to 9. That's a lot of gates. Getting up to 10 gateways even. The army is revealed. Lings attempting a counterattack, but the oracles are keeping up. As we're getting up to 10 gateways, that is insane. The Hydras are revealed. It is concerning infestation, but it's on the way. Eric, he's working towards Lurker Tech. Happy. It's been a while since I've seen Eric embrace Lunkers. Am I getting ahead of myself? If infestation bit's done, we should soon be seeing the Hive and then the Lurker Den. +2 range on the way. It feels like Lurkers. It smells like Lurkers. Oh my god, we catch the Oracles. Oh my god. The Oracles go down. Big overextension by Master. Doesn't get the Revelation. And the goal base is denied. Master being a little bit cheeky. Looking down the rocks, engaging with the Stalkers. Again, Hydras, they do quite a lot of damage here in the back line. Overcharge is forced, is popped. We're forcing a fight out of range of the overcharge. The army getting choked up. Getting a Hydra. Catching out a Stalker. More Hydras amassing. No Hive yet. We're falling a little bit behind when it comes to the Hive timing. As I'm pretty sure Eric should be headed in that direction. For now, bleeding out a lot of roaches, and he does have to get the hell out of here. Will retreat. Master, I'm sure, tempted to blink in, but doesn't quite go for it. Yeah, forcing back the army. We do evacuate the goal base, actually forcing some of the boys to be pulled. Yeah, we're going for the base. The base will go down. Massive snipe on the gold. Big pick off. And Eric is still building up and still has not gone for the Hive. Is still, thankfully, on 3-base economy and is now taking the 4th. Master still on purely Stalkers. There is charge. There is 1-1. But no splash damage yet. And here we go, Eric close to maxing out, Stutter stepping up the ramp. Shield batteries are ready. The shield batteries, we need a little bit more time, a couple more seconds. But the cannons and shield batteries are just now finishing up. Sorry, just purely cannons. No shield battery? Uh-oh. No overcharge either. We're Stutter stepping forward. Breaking through the defensive line of Stalkers. And we're busting in. We're breaking through the front lines. GG gets called and Eric, he breaks on through, takes game number 2, and is now 1 game away from making it. Or from becoming this week's champion. GG. GG, well played. Master, not really expecting, I wasn't expecting it either. Like the committed Roach Hydra push. I mean, again, Eric, he had infestation pits. We didn't use it at all. I was expecting Hive Tech and Lurkers, but Eric, he just kept making Roach Hydra. he just kept making army, didn't make any more drones. He cut worker production, wasn't even getting another hatchery, wasn't getting a 4th base. Or wasn't getting a 5th, I should say, at that time. Just making purely army, and yeah, Master just a little bit caught off guard by Eric just pushing in, just going up the ramp. It was just a really awkward timing, and Master just barely wasn't ready for it. Again, he had the Bay finishing up. He was working towards Colossus and Disruptors, but he needed a little bit more time. He was, of course, spending his warp ins on Stalker, and alas, he just couldn't keep up. Not with that kind of army. And with that, Eric takes a 2-0 lead. And now we're jumping into game number 3. Let's go. We're getting into game 3. Potentially the final game of the series. Eric needs una más. Eric needs 1 more to be this week's Code for Giants Cup champion. And Master has to fight back here and now to extend the series and have a chance at the ace match. Here we go, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. Struggling so far in this series, can he bring it back? He's up against the wall. It is Master. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, once again, going gas first, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing the CranKy Ducklings. Quack. Ah, it's beautiful. He's a duck. He's a fellow CranKy Duckling. It is Eric. Okay, this is a 14-14. You don't see this too often in this matchup. So 14 gas, 14 pool here from Eric. Going for an extractor trick. Now with this, really fast link speed, really fast gas income, of course, I imagine this is going to lead into a Bane bust. I imagine. I'm curious how aggressive this is going to be, as the Probe Scout comes in and Master will confirm what's going on. Master this time will see everything. He sees the early gas, the early pool, he sees the late expansion. Last game, Master took a little bit longer to confirm that there was a gold base being taken, and you can see he's looking for the proxy. You can see after game 1, Master, he's so vigilant when it comes to scouting for the proxy hatchery. He is a little bit paranoid. He does confirm there is no hatchery out on the map. Link speed is on the way, and we're pulling out. Okay, so 14-14, we are pulling out of gas, so only link speed, and we're expanding. We are going to be expanding. Eric is going to be moving out. Expanding out with a handful of lings. He's actually droning. Interesting. So Eric is droning up. He's only made 4 lings. He's not really intending to be too aggressive. Oh my, okay. We're knocking down the rocks. Okay. Okay. I see you. The rocks are being knocked down to gain access to the right-hand side of the map to make sure that if Master expands on the right-hand side, we can try to shut it down. Eric pulling away for now. Doesn't want to get caught out as the Adept has arrived. And I'm pretty sure if Eric saw an opening, he would have committed into a link flood. But for now, he's just droning. He's just trying to catch up. And this means that Eric is behind. Eric, he's in a rough position here. I mean, we did force the tech to be thrown down on the low ground, but for the most part, Master is looking quite comfortable, getting into his natural and probing up. Adept does shade in, link speed kicks in, we can get us around! Yeah, we can surround, we can shut this down, we get, ooh, not quite a drone kill. Very nice, sport trick. Very nice sport trick there out of Eric. Does preserve his drones, still droning up. Overlord doesn't quite confirm the tech of choice, not yet. Well, we are still knocking down those rocks. Speaking of, as if on cue, we are mining through those mineral patches. Patches are being mined through. Master looks to expand and take the 3rd base. At the same time, the rocks are still quite healthy, but they're getting down to half HP. And the Oracle will confirm. Master now aware of those lings. And should shoo them away. Yeah, there we go. Pulsar beam is activated, lings lay back off, rocks get down to half HP. And Eric will retreat. And if he can knock down those rocks, then we can punish this gold. Center base being taken. Master, I mean, at least he's aware. He's taking a defensive stance. Keeping his adepts back at home to defend those rocks. Defend the rocks as best he can. Won't quite make it in. Behind this, Eric transitioning. We do have our gases being taken. Evo Chamber, Roach Warren. Settling into the mid game. Oh god, sorry. Just sneezing. Oh good, oh good. As the Oracles have it the field, and so far, I mean, at least we're denying mining at the 3rd, and we have map control with the Oracles. 3rd base is getting up and running. The rocks are still standing strong, and really my eyes are on Eric. I'm still trying to piece together what he's up to. Lair is on the way. We're taking 4 gases. That's a lot of gas. We have not quite invested into +1 range yet, so we could try to throw it in a curveball. We could still go for a Spire. Another gas being taken. That's a lot of gas. Taking all 5 gases. +1 range. So it should be Roach Hydra again. I'm leaning towards Roach Hydra. If there wasn't range on the way, if it was melee, then maybe I would lean towards Spire Tech. Uh-oh. Stage trap for the natural. Oh, Oh my god. Whew. We do react in time. Eric does respond. He holds, he defends. Meanwhile, third base getting up and running, getting fully operational. The lair is now done. And show us your tech of choice. There it is, Hydras. Now, last game, even with the infestation bit, we did avoid lurker tech. I'm curious with all this gas if we embrace lurkers or just commit to Roach Hydra. See what Eric does go for. We can see Master knocking down his own rocks. Again, so we can just maneuver between the bases and take a secure fourth. Speaking of, Master is expanding on the right-hand side. Interesting, getting the fourth. Very secure. Infestation bits on the way, but we've been fooled before. You've done us dirty once, Eric. What's it gonna be? Do we actually use it? Do we go for the hive tech? Before that does occur, Stalkers are moving out. 6 gateways behind this. Diesel Stalker army. Ooh, and we are within range of that gas geyser. Yeah, the gas geyser under fire. Oh, file does connect. But the gas is going to be knocked down. Nice pickup. Knock down the gas geyser. Rotating towards the south. Eric trying to keep up. Has mixed in the Hydras. Hive is on the way. The Lunker Den. Let's go. Oh my god. The stasis. Ah, he spots it. He knows. Does spot the stasis. Does knock it down. So far, good stutter stepping. But last Eric is taking into the Hive Tech and the Lunkers as well. We're getting there. We do just need a little bit more time, and extra gases would be ideal. Cool. So the pile is dodged. Still relying upon Roach Hydra. Getting into a couple of lings. Stage trap is going to be baited. Or we actually blink up the ramp. We blink into the main. Into the center base even. Yeah, we avoid the Roach Hydra. Boys are being pulled. Drones are going down. Oh my god, just completely out-positioning Eric. We got 7 drone kills. The Queen. And another worker. And from here, we can just, we can just bypass the army again. That is disgusting. What? Oh my, I haven't seen that before. Blinking up the ramp into the center base, then over the rocks as well. Insane. And with that, Eric is committed. He's going for a massive counterattack. The army did a recall back home. Shield batteries ready. Overcharge available. What do we go for? We're going for the natural. Cybercore will be sniped. We get a decent concave. Cybercore does go down. And we do manage to catch a couple of these Stalkers. A couple. Oh my god, the punish is real though. Yeah, the Hydras are exposed and Mastery is punishing this so hard. That economic blow earlier is something that Eric has not recovered from, and he cannot sustain this. And sure, we have a hive, we have upgrades on the way, we have potential lurkers, but we're not ready. And we're not going to be ready. Eric needs time. He needs so much time to recover. But Mastery is pushing out. Getting another expansion, getting a 5th base. And again, these bases are so secure. No run-bys, no counterattacks. It's just not possible, not without knocking down these rocks. Speaking of, Eric slips in. He does slip in with some lings. We have a cannon in position. Shield battery as well. Stalkers, they hit the 4th base. And once again, they knock it down. The 4th Nexus does fall. Master gets the hell out of there. Lings, they hit the natural. They're going into the main. And Eric is now morphing in a handful of lurkers. The lurkers have a lot of work to do. Oh my god, the stasis trap. There's so many. The traps are going off. We catch out some roaches, some ravagers as well. We have 5 lurkers. We have 4 lurkers. Oh my god. Okay, we punish the Stalkers. Bit of an overextension from Master. Does overextend. Revelations does catch out the lurkers. And can we get one? We get a surround on the Roach Ravager. Ravager goes down. Zelsa getting on top of the army. We got 1 lurker. There's 2 left. And we get a full surround. We have Zelsa, we have Stalkers. We warp in on top of the army as well. And Master will clean this up, getting the final lurker. And what is there left for Eric? He's down to a handful of Lings. We have the 4th base getting saturated. Sorry, the 3rd base getting saturated. The 4th is still being rebuilt. And there's just not much Zerg left. 0 lurkers remaining. And only a handful of roaches. As long as we can reinforce on the front lines, I mean, we have the prism. We have the war prism. We go for the base. We don't even care. We get another hatchery. And Zealous at the 3rd. Yeah, Zealous, they get 8 drone kills. And Eric, he just cannot keep up. He cannot sustain himself. Not against this. Again, this time maybe being a little bit too greedy, taking up as quickly as he did into that hype tech. Alas, he's trapped himself! No! The Roach Hydra. Yeah, we get on top of the lurkers. They're not going to be able to morph in. GG gets called, and Master will fight back and put a point on the board. GG. GG. Eric, once again, being creative with his opener, going for the 14-14, if you remember. It was a weird one. It was a weird opener. It was a 14-14, which ideally was trying to force an overreaction, but I mean, it didn't really do much, especially because we're on Crimson Court. You saw there on this map that with the bare minimum, you can expand, you can take a fast 3rd base, you need nothing to defend. I mean, sure, Eric was threatening the rocks, but the Oracles and Adepts dealt with that, and we saw that Eric just wasn't able to really punish the expansion. The 3rd, the 4th, the 5th base wasn't able to touch them whatsoever. And Master was looking quite comfortable. Eric, meanwhile, put himself behind in the beginning of the game and struggled to really take control of his own center base. Was shut down. GG, well played. With that, Master fights back. And now we're getting into game number 4. We're going to be loading into Site Delta. Let's go. Site Delta is going to be coming up next. And once again, my eyes have to be on Eric. He's been going for these quirky builds every game. So far, something different every time. What do you have for us this time? What's it going to be? What is it going to be? What's that? Oh, hello, Reaper. Hello. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Good to see you again. As we're getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our Brazilian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, once again going for what looks to be a 14-14, representing the CranKy Ducklings. Still 1 game away from becoming our champion. It is Eric. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Protoss, the blue Protoss player, representing Team Hellfire. It is Master. I do apologize, the bracket chat command has not been updated from yesterday, so I do apologize. It is not updated. A part of the reason for that is because I don't want to spoil myself. So I haven't looked at the Wikipedia page myself, as there are spoilers. This is a replay cast, so unfortunately not quite updated. But there is a page out there. There is a page on Wikipedia. And yeah, once again, 14-14. The gas has been taken into the spawning pool, into a delayed expansion. And we saw that last game, this didn't really lead into much. I mean, sure, Eric had fast link speed, but wasn't able to accomplish too much with it, was forced to expand and drone up. Once again, we're loading into Site Delta, and this is one of the more defendable maps in the map pool. We'll see if Eric can make something happen with it this time. As Lings are moving out. The Lings do reveal themselves, they shut down the probe. From here, Eric can expand. Oh, the expansion is going to be delayed. The pylon is going to be as annoying as possible, the probe being as annoying as possible. Expansion being retaken. Eric does move out. Behind this, Eric is droning. Eric is droning up. Probe is shut down. Back at home, we are forced to throw down a second gateway. So, second gateway, Zealot into a delayed expansion. So the Nexus is going to be delayed a little bit here for Master, but he does fully wall off, and he should be okay. Lings have arrived, they can chip away at the wall, but now that the Adept has arrived, we can't do much else. And the Adept is here. Lings, can they get us around? Oh, hiding in the tall grass. Uh-oh. Adept is going to be poking. Oh, he spots the Ling! He spots it. Ah, the tail was hanging out of the grass. The jig is up. Lings have to back the hell off. Master does race him across the map, looking to threaten the mineral line and threaten the drones. Ling's speed kicks in. Oh no! Bit of a misclick here out of Eric. He does overshoot. Shades into the main. Gets one drone. So far, so good. Can we get two? Oh, not quite. It's a bit of a misclick for Master. Doesn't quite target that second drone. So one worker kill for one adept. I would say a better trade for Eric. I mean, actually, I was going to say a better trade for Eric, but losing one drone is brutal considering the game state, right? Like, Eric's drone count is lackluster. Eric doesn't have the best economy, doesn't have a lot of workers. So every worker lost is that much more brutal for Eric. Meanwhile, third base is being taken. Eric, he stays in gas. Or he pulls back in. Interesting. So we're pulling back into gas. We'll see what this is going to be used for. We'll keep an eye on Eric. But now still droning up, getting saturated. This could be for a fast lair. I'm keeping that on my mind. As Eric does rotate. Making sure he delays the third base. Oracle's moving out. Unlike the previous map, Eric can actually pose a threat to the third, so ideally we do delay it for as long as we can. As it's not going to be for the lair, it's going to be for a Roach Warren. Okay, Roach Warren is thrown down at the 4-minute mark. Very early Roach Warren for Eric, and Master does confirm. Again, no reason for the Roach Warren to be this early on unless we want to make use of it. Lair is now on the way. So a really aggressive stance by Eric. He does delay the third, gets a probe. Nice pickoff. Probe goes down. Another probe's on the way. Eric is aware. And he won't be able to lay the third base much longer as it is thrown down. Lynx can poke in and just confirm that there is a third. Can and will confirm. Behind this, Eric getting up his spores. Third base getting up and running. We do have a Forge in the Twilight Council. There should be +1 in Blink. Master getting into a standard transition. And from here, we're looking to stabilize and get into a macro game. Okay, now, the thing that I'm most concerned about here is because of the openers, Eric's economy is still lagging behind. It's still not ideal here. Oh, we do punish the Oracles, though. Oh my god, one Oracle goes down. Massive pickoff. Not a bad start. We get an Oracle. Hydrogen is done. Stasis trap into the main. Oh, we do pull away. Stasis does only trigger on the one drone. Oracle backs off, and Eric is investing into Hydras. Now, it's a little bit too early to actually make any Hydras. We're still droning, still trying to get our third base up and running and operational. Eric is getting there. Likewise, Master also fully walling off at the third base and getting into and investing hard into his own Blink Stalkers. That's going to be an 8-gate setup. It's a lot of gateways. 8 gates on the way. Adepts moving out. We're getting to a handful of roaches. Gas is now being taken. We will soon be able to afford Hydras. This Master is still marauding around the map. Eric now taking a 4th base. The creep is... it's okay. It's connecting the bases. We're getting there. Embracing more Hydras. 4th base is being taken. Master moving out. And embracing a more gateway heavy style. I mean, with 8 gateways may as well. Charges on the way. Working towards +2. Creep is being denied. What little creep we have. No! The queen. Oh my god. We don't quite get it. Queen does escape. The 4th base is spotted. Eric is aware. Is aware of the fourth base, and Eric, he is not making any more drones, cutting workers at 64 and just making purely Roach Hydra. Very committed on 3 bases. For now, the fourth just for Larva. Stutter stepping forward. Infestation bits on the way. And Eric is committing. Moving out with purely Roach Hydra for the time being. This infestation bit should once again be for the Hive and for the Lurkers. We saw that Eric wasn't quite able to embrace that in game number 3. We'll see if we can get there in game 4. So far, a nice arc. Getting on the Stalkers. The Stasis. Oh my god. Jesus. Stasis traps don't quite trigger. Not yet. But they almost do. Alasta running out of Roaches. The Hydra's looking exposed. And without Roaches, the Hydras are going to be going down. Oh my god. We blink on forward. We shut down the Hydra's. Massive overextension from Eric. Going to lose every single Hydra. Link's coming to reinforce, but this was worth it for the Protoss. Yeah, worth it for Master. Shuts down the Lings and it will chase down the remaining Hydras. It's 4 left. We're down to 3. Down to 0. Every single Hydra does fall. An expensive loss for Eric, bearing in mind that he's only on 3-base saturation. He has no drones at the 4th. He's stuck on 62 workers, barely 3-base saturation. Now we're going for the Hive and the Lurker Den, but this was a brutal loss for Eric. We have some catching up to do. As Master takes another expansion. Takes the 5th. And how do we bounce back? If Eric can get into a mineral line, if we can get into the 3rd base, get into the 4th base, if we can somehow punish the economy of Master and slow him down, then we can buy time to get into Lurkers. Otherwise, Master is looking terrifying. Zelsa hit the 4th, drop towards the 3rd. Stalkers moving in. Are we going for the base? Oh my god, Master with these hatchery snipes every single time. We'll get the expansion. Hatchery goes down. We can see Eric trying to punish him, but last only gets Zealots and a handful of Stalkers. But the main army does escape. 5th base is spotted. Eric trying to reestablish that expansion. The Hive is finishing up. We can try to invest into these upgrades. I mean, we have a lot of gas, true. Oh, the contamination! You love to see it. That's 10 Lunkers. Oh. Okay, I think I like this. So instead of going for the upgrades, we're skipping them. At least for now. We're delaying the upgrades. We're getting into 10 Lunkers here. Lair Tech Lunkers. Not ideal, but we need anything we can get here to hold on, to survive. 1 Lurker goes down. We're down to 9. 9 Lurkers left, pushing forward. Setting up the Lurkers. We avoid them. We avoid the Lurkers. We go straight for the base. Mastery just keeps pushing in. Is gonna bleed out a decent chunk of these Stalkers. Catching some reinforcements. Zelsa hit the mineral line. Drones are going down. Can he get the base? No shot. Oh my god, Mastery. It's all he wants. He gets it. The hatchery goes down. Yo, these Stalker drive-bys have been brutal. Every single time throughout this series, he just gets the bases. Doesn't even care. Hatcheries, they look so fragile whenever Master's playing. Whenever he's here with his Stalkers. As he catches out more of these Lurkers. Eric getting called out, still trying to catch the harassing army. The Mastery defends at the 5th base. Eric being forced back. And still perpetually stuck on a 3-base economy. Just unable to get a 4th. Lurker upgrades on the way. Catching out more Lurkers. Master just getting the surround even. Almost a full 360 surround. So we're getting on the base once again. The Lurkers not quite where they need to be. As Master takes a 6. It's getting to 6 bases. Against a 3-base Zerg. It's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, and now with the greater economy, we're going to be overwhelming. We have so many gateways behind this. We get on top of the Lurkers, and we're just brute forcing our way through. Who needs Immortals? Who needs Colossus? Who needs Disruptors when you have Stalkers and Zealots? True. Just a gateway army, Pappy. At the same time, Zealots, they hit the third. I mean, Eric, he barely has an economy to begin with, and now we knock it down even further. And now we have our Robos. Triple Robo production, and now we can get into the Immortal production. Off of 6 bases. Let's go. Now Master can embrace it. And things are looking bleak here for Eric. They're looking quite bleak. He's been having a hard time just stabilizing and even holding onto his third base, let alone his fourth. It has just been a rough mid-game for him. Now we go for a massive warp in into the main. At the same time, Stalkers, they hit the front lines. Once again, diving on those lurkers. We get 2, we're getting 3, and there's just no support. There's no support for the lurkers. GG gets called, and Master ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. We're making our way to game number 5. Again, these 14-14 openers out of Eric have been lackluster, to say the least. They haven't been able to get any damage. They've been hurting Eric more than helping him, and they've been delaying his economy, delaying his natural, his third base. Likewise, Eric did tech up very quickly this game into roaches, into a lair, but wasn't able to really make use of it either. So initially, Eric popping off with his more aggressive builds, as Eric has been attempting to macro. That's where Master has been really thriving. But to be fair, it's also because of these unorthodox starts from Eric that have been also kind of setting him behind in a way. So how does the story end? Who will be our champion this week? We're getting into the ace match. It's going to be on Ghost River. Oh boy. We're loading into one of the smaller maps in the map pool. And this is not a bad map if Eric did want to go for an all-in. Let's see what we go for. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Brazilian Zerg player. The red Zerg representing the CranKy Ducklings. He was up 2-0. But has been brought to the ace match. Can we bring it all the way back? Can we bring it back, bring it home, and become the champion? It is Eric. Once again, going for the 15-15. Sorry, 14-14, what I meant to say. I'm just not used to saying it. Yeah, 14 gas into 14 pool. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. Fighting back from a 2-0 deficit, bringing it all the way to the ace match. It is Master. Let's go. Let us go. Now, Eric has gone for this same opener, 14-14, 3 games in a row now. 3 games in a row. It has worked against him more than anything. But on a map like Ghost River, I'm not opposed to committing to a Link Flood. I'm not opposed to it. It would make a lot more sense, but we'll see how Eric does indulge and how he does embrace this kind of opener. We'll see if he does commit to Lings or if he just drones up once again. Are Eric's macro builds unoptimized? I think Eric is just playing with 14-14s. We have seen Eric play macro and thrive on 2 and 3 bases and have like some more quirky later builds and later styles against Protoss. It does seem like Eric is playing around with this opener. Looks like he has faith in it, clearly. I'm curious to see where its strengths lie. I haven't been convinced yet. So far I'm unconvinced, but maybe I'm looking too closely. Maybe I need to take a step back, appreciate the art from a distance, get a different perspective, try to get into the mind of the kangaroo. I'll try. As Lings get across the map, clearly, it is getting some damage. It's forcing a delayed expansion. It's forcing the faster cyber core. It's forcing the additional gateway. It's forcing damage in a way, indirect damage. True. Ling does slip in for a fresh scout, for a full scout even, in the main. And behind this, we're droning up. The last Adept does shade across the map. 4 more Lings on the way. As long as we can avoid any economic damage from this Adept, I think we're in an okay position. The last game we did lose 1 drone. As the Ling does confirm the Stargate opener. Adept waddling back. And the Adept does not get a drone kill. So far so good. So far a cleaner defense compared to game number 4 for Eric. As he attempts to chase down the Adept, unable to. Not this time. The Adept does manage to get away. Does slip away towards the south, and back at home, Eric is going to be droning up. Now, Eric has gone for the same build so far. He's been going for a bit of an early Roach 4 and into 3-base Roach Hydra. We saw that it was shut down on Crimson Court as he was unable to hold on to his 3rd base. We saw that it was shut down on Site Delta when Eric overextended and hit the 3rd and lost all of his Hydras. I'm curious if Eric takes a more passive approach in the mid-game and takes a more defensive stance, getting up to 4-base saturation. That I would not be opposed to, but we'll see. We shall see. As the Adept shaded. Ooh, gets a drone. That's 1 drone kill so far. Again, not a bad trade for Master, considering Master is up in probes. Eric's still being active. Looks like his goal here is to delay the 3rd base if at all possible. But the probe is being escorted. Would you protect? Would you save it? And Lings, they try to break down. The gateway was low from earlier. Oh my god. The big brain plays. The gateway is going to go down. Do we wall off in time? We do. Oh, we don't. Oh my god, the hole's in the wall. The wall is not a wall. We flood into the main base. So far, good damage dealt here by Eric, forcing the Pulsar Beam. And we'll see if we can get any probe kills. We're at least causing chaos. We're causing havoc here for Master. Back at home, Eric is droning up. The Lings get a full scout. They get eyes on the Twilight Council. But they shouldn't get much more than that. But again, they at least keep Master busy. They force out another gateway. And back at home, we are happily droning up. Spores have not been thrown down, so we're cutting some corners. Lings, they're hitting the 3rd. More Lings on the way. But we are building up that Oracle count. Now on 2 Oracles. More Lings amassing, getting ready here towards the south. Looks like Eric he wants to try to knock down that 3rd. Or at least catch out some of these gateway units. We'll see if he can. It's a bold move here by Eric. A lot of these things, they could have been drones. Does rotate, bypassing the 3rd base, but oh my god, that's a messy wall. That's like 4 pylons. Oh my god. Protoss players, look away. That's I mean, it works, I guess. I mean, we had to very quickly just patch up that hole. Patch up the wall. It works, I guess. It works. It's fine. It's fine. Meanwhile, across the map, we get 2, we get 3. Oh my god, we get 4 drone kills. Very nicely done. 4 drones go down. Likewise, Lings, they knock down a worker across the map. Getting some damage done. And once again, we do have the Hydrogen on the way for Eric. Now, this time, he has been a little bit more intentional with how he's been spending his resources, getting up to 2 bases first. Droning up. This time, Eric hasn't wasted resources or wasted larva on roaches. If you remember last game, we made a wave of roaches earlier on. This time, we're being as efficient as possible, getting into Ling Hydra. So this is looking a little bit more refined, but as I say that, Master is going for his own move out. Oh, how many gateways? 6, we're getting up to 8 gates. It looks like a 3-base all-in. Eric's in trouble. Eric is in a bit of trouble here. So Master, he's not taking the gases. He's throwing down extra gateways. It's going to be an 8-gate, 3-base all-in. We could even go up to 9 gateways. And yeah, there it is. The 9th gate is thrown down. We're going to be reinforcing on the front lines. Master is going all in. And Eric, are we ready for this? We have a handful of Hydras, but we need Lings. We need Roaches. We need some kind of buffer. The stasis goes off. The stasis does go off. Hydras are going down as well. Massive pickoffs. That was how many? That was 5 Hydras falling. Doesn't sound like a lot, but this early on, that is massive. Eric would have double the Hydra count if only he, again, if only he was able to keep them alive. Stalker's moving in. They get another Roach. Eric is up against the wall. More roaches amassing. Bearing in mind the time is working in favor of Eric. He just needs a little bit more time. Another Hydra gets sniped. As time goes on, Eric, he's going to amass a larger and larger army. But he does need time. Does need Master to back up. He gets a Stalker. Gets 2. Gets 3. Oh my god. Gets 4. 5. 6. Master overextending there. Losing 6 Stalkers. But whoever extends this time, as we blink on forward, Hydra's trying to hold their ground. Lings up trickling in, and we are barely holding on to Eric. He takes the fight. Oh my god. Just barely. It's so close, though. It's so clutch. Again, these Hydras, they're so vulnerable. Another Hydra goes down. 8 more roaches on the way. Eric and Maynarding over. Was oversaturated. Couple of drones getting caught out. More Stalkers reinforcing. These Hydras, again, they're losing their buffer. And the Hydras are exposed. We can blink forward if we want to. Yeah, we do. The boys are being pulled, but it looks like Master, he's broken the back of Eric. The Roaches, the Hydras, again, Eric was taking up towards a later game. Instead, Master just goes for a 3-base all-in. He goes for the all-in, and he's snowballing out of control. Eric had a very strong start to the series. But alas, Master, he's getting out of hand. Again, just a little bit too greedy from Eric, a little bit too tech-heavy up against an all-in, when really we just needed an army. We just needed units, Roaches, Hydras, Lings. Just needed an army, less so a hive and infestation pits and upgrades. As Master, he's catching out all these overlords, trying to supply block Eric. The army gets forced back. Again, Eric, he's just doesn't really have much left to work with. It was a rough start as well, losing those Hydras. Losing 5 at the start of the fight. Nice whole position micro with the drones. Love to see it. But Master, he just has too much momentum. Gets on top of the last remaining Hydras. Gets on top of the Queens as well. And Master, he will take it. GG gets called. And Master will be this week's Code for Giants Cup number 8 champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Masters. He will claim the series. Eric, he popped off at the start of it in Game 1 and Game 2, being hyper aggressive. Remember, Game 1, Eric went for the proxy hatch. Game 2, Eric went for the goal base and Akione. And then in the following games, we saw Eric go from 14-14s into longer macro games. Even here in Game 3, we had the same kind of approach for Eric, which was to get up to 3-base saturation, to rush into hive tech, to get into lurkers. Was trying to do so in the last 3 games and was unsuccessful in doing so. In game number 3, Master was able to punish Eric and punish the center base, able to snipe those gas geysers and deny Eric actually getting the gas to sustain that kind of army. So Eric stumbled his way into the Hydra Lurker tech. Likewise, the following game, we saw that Eric overextended. We saw that Eric moved out with Roach Hydra, he was punished for his move out, and then Master maintained control from there, and was able to mass expand and just overwhelm Eric. And here in game number 5, as Eric tried to get there again for a 3rd time, Master went for the all-in, which I think is a really smart move. That is, like, when it comes to this playstyle from Eric, when it comes to this tech-heavy style that he's trying to get into, if his opponent is playing macro, if his opponent is being more passive, then I do think that Eric can snowball out of control with this. I think it's a little bit greedy, but you can get away with it. As we saw here, once he got accustomed to this build of Eric, he punished it real hard, real quick with a 3-base all-in. It's just a really good way to punish any kind of greedy tech-heavy style from a Zerg player. If you see a Zerg player rushing into lurkers like this, that's where an 8-gate can really thrive. I say 8-gate, it was a 9-gate all-in. 9-gate 3-base all-in. And with that, GG, well played. Congratulations to Masters. He will claim the series. My condolences to Eric, as he does bow out here in the finals, but did at least make it to the finals. Went all the way here to the ace match as well. Big shout to Eric for making it as far as he did. Isn't the champion, but the runner-up, there's no shame in that. No shame in that. GG, well played. Oh. Here we go. Drinking wine, stopping to smell the roses. Getting more holistic. Yeah, papi. Yeah, exactly. Gotta have an open mind, papi. But yeah, GG, well played. Congratulations here to Master. And with that, he is going to be this week's champion. Now I can actually have a look at the bracket. I've been avoiding it the entire time. Who did Eric play against? Let's have a look here. Eric, he took down Dako and took down Kamikaze to make it to the finals. Okay. Nicely done. Eric not dropping a single map until the grand finals. And with that, we should be hosting another Code for Giants Cup in the coming weeks. This is a bi-weekly tournament. So in another couple of weeks, we should be seeing another one of these events. Should be on the horizon here. A big shout to Cyan in the chat. Obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. But we just finished. Ya terminamos, papi. Ya terminamos. We just wrapped up. We just finished our broadcast of the Code for Giants Cup. Master did come out on top, just barely. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up for the night. But thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time over on your own channel. Thank you, papi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Cyan. Shout out to Cyan. And yeah, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. Again, when it comes to our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow at around the same time, we are going to be covering the... Oh, sorry, actually, a little bit later. We're going to be covering the HSL, the Hyperstar League. Is an event that we casted live, but we had some connectivity issues and we missed out on the finals. We were unable to cast the grand finals of the Hyperstar League, so I have gotten replays from the semifinals, from the quarterfinals, and from the grand finals as well, and we'll be going over those replays tomorrow. So we have another replay cast. If you're curious, what is the Hyperstar League? That is a unique event. That is an SC Evo event. If you're curious what that is a mod in StarCraft 2 which merges and brings together the Brutal races and the StarCraft 2 races. So technically 6 races in total. You have 2 Protosses, 2 Zergs, and 2 Terrans, like one for each one. And the way that it works, the way that it is formatted is game 1, one player plays the StarCraft 2 race, the other player plays the Brutal race. Game 2, they switch, and then game 3, coin flip. You coin flip, and you roll the dice to see who gets to play which race, who gets to play their main race, and what they prefer, essentially. So that's how the best of 3s are conducted. Best of 5 is similar, where the ace match is a coin flip, and they alternate game 1 and game 2, game 3 and game 4. So yeah, it is a fun event, especially because I'm a little bit less familiar with Brood War. I mean, I played it growing up, and I have watched and even casted a little bit of SC Evo at this point. But it's a lot of fun. It's quite refreshing to see how the Brutal races, how they shape up to the SC2 races. And again, we were lucky enough to cast it live for the most part, but again, going over replays tomorrow. That's going to be the plan. That will be the plan. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We're going to be wrapping up for the time being, at least a little bit. Because the broadcast was a little bit shorter, I am going to be going live on my personal channel. If you're interested, if you want to tune into some live VIP ladder session, then I'm going to be live on my personal channel. I don't ladder on the CranKy Ducklings. Here on the CranKy Ducklings, it is a team channel, so myself, Kuro, Steel Mode, Yaku, sometimes Chase, sometimes Asher, sometimes NXZ, and some other people come on so we can all cast together. So I don't ladder on this channel. We leave it just purely for tournaments, for casting, and sometimes for some like team game content. We try to leave the CranKy Ducklings exclusively for that, and we do ladder on our personal channels instead. You know, myself, Yaku, Kuro, we all have our own personal channels. So yeah, I'm going to be streaming over there if you're interested. I'm going to be having a short, cheeky ladder session, you know, maybe 3, maybe 4 hours of ladder. I haven't been able to ladder consistently for a long time because of so much casting. But now that we're in the off season after EWC, there's a little bit less to cast. Someone was asking earlier about Kung Fu Cup. There's no Kung Fu Cup today. That means we can ladder. That means we can ladder, papi. We can ladder. So Because of that, gonna be streaming over there if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. I apologize for the stream going down earlier. I do apologize. Hopefully that was just an anomaly, like a one-off event. Hopefully it's not indicative of what is going to happen in the future. For those that are curious, we had some connectivity issues for the past like month, and I contacted my ISP and they said that they fixed it. They resolved the issue. It was on their end. They sent a technician on Monday. Yesterday, everything was looking smooth, was looking solid. Today, the stream went down. We'll see if it keeps going down. If so, I'm going to have to contact the ISP again and hopefully resolve. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm a little bit anxious that the issue wasn't resolved, but we'll see. We'll see. We will see what happens. Otherwise, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We're going to be heading off for the time being. Again, I'm going to be laddering on my personal channel. We'll take a bit of a break here to get some water, to hydrate myself and get ready for what's to come. Otherwise, if you want to help support this event, tune in next time. Again, in 2 weeks, we're going to have another Code for Giants Cup. Likewise, if you want to follow the CranKy Ducklings, if you want to support the CranKy Ducklings, you can do so by following us on the social medias. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. If you want to be notified when we go live. Likewise, we also go live on YouTube at the same time. So we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube. VODs are available on YouTube immediately under the live tab. So if you miss out on some live casting, if you want some VOD action, we got you covered on Twitch and YouTube. That is the place to be. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some Hyperstar League. Otherwise, enjoy your day, enjoy your week, enjoy yourselves. See you next time. Ciao, Bobby, ciao. See you next time.